As you can see here, it's starting to rain in my little barangay, little town, whatever you call it. It's not a city. I think it's in the region of Sarangani, the city of Malungan, the barangay of Malanday, north of General Santos. Nice trees over there. But I was thinking about an important subject. I've been thinking about loving the truth. And I have two other video chats on this, part 1 and part 2. This will be part 3. It's a new part that I just thought of. I was thinking, how are we going to love the truth if we're not brave? We need to be brave, and that's what I want to talk about in connection to loving the truth. Because if you read in Thessalonians, it says, if we do not love the truth enough, if we don't love the truth, we will be sent a religious lie and will believe it and be condemned because we did not love the truth enough to be saved. All right, it's in Thessalonians. So the context is about us that are religious. Even our convictions and beliefs can be totally wrong and we don't know it, and there are reasons for that, because we don't love the truth. Well, what are the signs, what are the marks, what are the habits of people that love the truth? That's what some of the first 2 videos were about. This one is another facet, another part of it. It takes courage and bravery because we're afraid of people. For example, Catholics might be afraid of the Pope or afraid of the Father, and if they read the Bible and find something that conflicts and is in opposition to that, they will not say anything, they will not do anything or change their religious practice because they're afraid of the Father, the leaders, the cardinals, the Pope. That's just one example. It happens in every brotherhood, I'm sure. But in order to love the truth, one must have courage. Holy smokes, it's getting rain here. So it takes courage. If you're wondering where I'm at, that's where I'm at. I'm starting to get soaked here, a little. But I can't go in so noisy in the coffee shop, and I don't want to be loud. But you must have courage. One of the best character traits, character vibes a man should have is bravery. And if anybody should be brave, it should be men. Women and children included, but especially men. Because men, you got to do the hard stuff. You got to take a stand, especially on what's right. So I'm appealing to you to love the truth in a way that you're showing courage. Not your truth, not what you think, but the truth of Christ that you've come to believe is accurate and true, and to stand on it. So recently I have a video out called, quote, this is Jesus talking, quote, don't call anyone Pope, end quote. He means religious father. He said, don't call anyone father, meaning Pope. All right, they mean the same thing. Jesus said it, but the Catholics totally oppose that. If you're Catholic and you're listening to this, or you have a Catholic friend, are you going to ask them if they have bravery? Are they a brave man or woman or child? And then get into the subject, talk about courage. It takes courage to do what Jesus said. For example, he said, in Matthew 23:9, don't call anyone Pope on earth because you have one Pope in heaven, one Father in heaven. You see, it offends God. All right, that's the subject in a previous video that I had called Don't Call Anyone Pope. That's what Jesus said. Jesus said it. All right, so why do Catholics do it? Because they don't have courage. That's one of the reasons. Well, there'll be Catholics who say, no, I'm courageous, I'm bold. I'm bold for Catholicism. And Catholic Church is the one church. It's the true church. Okay, you do have boldness, you do have courage, but you have bravery to speak a lie. You're self-deceived and you think you're right. You're just boldly lying, okay? You're a bold-faced liar. And so, but it takes courage, and we have to want to be brave. And bravery, sometimes you have to make a decision on your own without other people going along. You have to risk. Bravery and courage in valiant men take risks. It isn't stay safe, it's stay brave. Valiant men, they don't say stay safe. They say stay courageous, stay brave, stay valiant, because that's a good character trait to demonstrate towards yourself and others. There was a young man that was recently may have gotten a woman pregnant, and I counseled him, and he was going to potentially not stay with her. And I said, whatever you do, whatever you decide, Do the brave thing. Then you'll at least feel good about yourself. Whether she accepts it or the culture or anyone else, do the brave thing. You see what I mean? You have to have courage to do what's right. And I appeal to you to love the truth in a way that you have courage, that check yourself, evaluate yourself, self-analyze. Do you have bravery? Are you courageous or are you afraid of people? If you're not, you're what's called a men pleaser. If you're a men pleaser, you're just going along with everybody and what they say, which is a sinful character trait. Being a men pleaser means you won't follow the truth. You're going to follow what the crowd says. As one woman, mother used to say, we're going to go along to get along. Well, I reject that. If your mother says go along to get along, I would reject that, because that means truth is out the window. And as some people say, when you're in Rome, do as the Romans do. Hey, they were an evil society. And if you're in the Philippines, they say, accept my culture. Well, I'm not going to accept saving face. Saving face is lying. It's an Asian custom that gives you permission to lie. All right? I do not accept that. All right? So I will not accept a cultural character trait that is a lie, that is sin. So what I'm telling you is about how to love God. Test yourself and others. Test yourself and others. Are you courageous? Have you shown bravery? There was one time, and I need more courage, I can guarantee you that. And there are times where I just don't have it. There are times when I do. Okay? I have beliefs sometimes, like in a way that gives me confidence to help me succeed. And another way, I remember one time, and I'm not trying to say I'm better than you or anything. I'm not. I have failed miserably in so many ways, and that's not good. And I'm in always trying to evaluate myself to improve. But somebody once told me, when I stood up for the truth one time in a after church setting, this person very close to me said, "You've got faith." That means that person didn't. They were afraid to bring up the truth, which they knew. They were afraid. But they told me, you've got faith. What they meant is you have courage. You have the type of faith where you're brave. Because it was in the context of the sinner's prayer, which if you've watched any of my video chats, that is not a phrase or term, Bible phrase or term in the Bible. It does not exist. Somebody made it up, and you're all following a lie. You got to get your nose in the book and find out what he really meant. All right? I have other videos on that. And it usually gets down to the subject of how to call upon the name of the Lord. Is it in prayer, personal prayer, or in water baptism? Figure it out. Read the book of Matthew, chapter 28. Jesus says how to do it. And in the book of Acts, that exemplifies how they did it. There's nobody that prayed. Nobody commanded prayer for salvation. But I'm talking about being brave. I'm brave enough to stand up for that because I was baptized for the remission of my sins. Most people don't get baptized for Bible terms and Bible reasons. I did. I studied it after, came to a conclusion that whether I was trying to figure out if that's the right way. Even after I did it, I was led the right way. I decided, and it's through much study, that was correct, and I stand on that because it's exemplified by Jesus' words and the book of Acts. So it's Mark 16:16, Matthew 28, verses 17 through 19, and it's the book of Acts corroborates what people taught and led me to do. But most Christendom does not do that. They lead people in the sinner's prayer. Do you have courage? If you believe the truth and you reject the sinner's prayer, do you have the courage to defend the truth in the setting in which you're called to do so? May you have courage and bravery so that you can demonstrate that you actually love the truth and you hate lies. That's Jesus. Be like Jesus. He loved the truth so much that God anointed him with the oil of gladness. Do you want to be happy in heaven? Stand up for the truth. Be brave.